I am joining the fabulous Crystal Barrett, who is Miss Pineapple Papers on YouTube, for her Off the Board series, where we choose some items that we have saved on Pinterest and scrapbook with them. So I chose 2 items from my Pinterest board. One is a quote or saying that I'm going to use. There it is as the title of my page, and the other one is a sketch from the ever fabulous Shamel. She makes the best sketches, and I'm going to use my How to Kill a KAKWS style for July. So there's my photo. It is a photo of my son and his cousin. They are only a couple weeks apart, maybe about 6, but they're very different in size, as you can see from that picture. I decided to go with the blues and the greens and the crafts that were in my kit, and I'm going to pull, I'm just looking here at the sticker book to see what I have available to me. And I'm going to use stamps on my title, and I'm also going to use some letter dies that I just purchased and got in the mail right when I was doing this layout. So I will tell you right now that the white balance in this layout gets all funky because I was listening to music on my phone and I moved my phone and I didn't realize that it was messing with my recording. So lesson learned. I am taking a circle stencil. This stencil is from Echo Park, and I'm using my stencil brushes, which I don't use very often, but I wanted to use this Close to My Heart White Daisy pigment ink, and it doesn't work as nice with my life-changing brushes. Something about the formation of the pigment ink kind of like gets into my brushes and makes them like mushy, if that makes any sense at all. And so I go back to my Tim Holtz stencil brushes when I want to use pigment ink. So the sketch called for a center piece down the middle, and then it looked almost like a bracket or a marquee type die cut that was behind the photo. I don't really want to use that shape, not that I don't like it, it's just I don't really have anything easy to replicate it with. So I'm going to go for some torn paper, and I'm going to use this chevron, which is from Paper House Productions. Also, the background paper off of my layout is also from Paper House Productions. And then this green paper is from Jen Hatfield's Along the Way collection, I believe. And so these are the colors I'm going to use. This bright blues and greens and the craft, because I'm going to use some die cuts that were from that crepe paper die cut kit, the Journal Studio die cuts, and they seem to be very cream based instead of white based, so I thought a craft would be a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to put my photo onto this center of my layout, and then I'm going to place it over right along the middle. So those dots become, I guess they're splatters in this sketch. But I decided that I wanted to do some stencil dots instead. So I'm using the ruler or the grid on my Tim Holtz glass mat to center my photo. This layout took me way longer than it needed to because I shot this in the process of moving my scrapbook room from a little corner in the office to my own big room upstairs, and it so some of my stuff was downstairs and some of my stuff was upstairs. It just took me a minute. So I'm taking these Archie number or letter dies, alphabet dies, from, I got these at Simon Says Stamp. They were designed by Kathy Zilski, and they're like the perfect, just, easy font. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the dies, and then I'm going to use the stamps from my kit. So these are the Adorn It alphabet stamps from Jen Scow, and then I'm also going to use brush letter set that she did with Felicity Jane as part of my title too. And I'm just going to map this out to make sure I have room for everything that I want to do. And then I'm going to crazy die cut all these letters. So you can see how I did it here. I put the dies, put them where I wanted them, added some Thermoweb purple tape, and then die cut them out, and then just moved. The purple tape was attached to the alphabet dies, so I could pick up the dies as one thing and then just re-adhere them to my next piece of paper. So that worked out really, really well. So I'm just going to go ahead here and continue on to die cut my words, and then I'm going to stack them up to give them a bit of dimension. So I cut each of the words 4 times, and that'll give me some dimension, and it'll give me a fun look. Don't get me started that this looks like chipboard. I know it looks like chipboard. I don't know why I like this and don't like the other. But here's where the white balance messes up. See, because I had Apple Music on my phone, and I was just going and playing, and it did this. So, and yes, I listened to the Killers. And yes, that is Mr. Brightside, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to stack up these die cuts, and while I do this and get them all together, I am going to talk to you a little bit about this video, because this is the last video that I shot in my old craft room. So starting later this week, there will be new videos in my new craft room, and they might be a little wonky at first until I get, you know, the lighting and the setup. Well, I have the setup. The setup's good. It's just the lighting that I'm not too sure about. So we'll just have to play with it a little bit and see what we come up with. I think we'll be okay. I have put my camera up into a little tripod, which, by the way, I will be doing a room tour. That will be coming in August, because I still have a couple of things I want to do to the room before I do our room tour, just to make it pretty and stuff. And I want to get all settled in before we do that. And I'm going to have my sister film it, so it'll be a really, you know, I need my hair to be done and makeup on and fun stuff like that, right? Okay. So, yeah, that'll be coming in August, but it will definitely be coming. And so, I don't know why I left all of this, me gluing down words, but there you go. Now you know how I did it. For the little eyes and some of the smaller bits on the letters, I did use my crystal katana so that things would stick together, and I used my Close to My Heart glue pen because it's my favorite. So we're almost done here. I was very smart, did not make you watch it all. I did cut some of this out. See, we're done. So now I'm doing my title. So what I did was I used my T-square ruler to center Cousins where I wanted it. I free range stamped the R, and now I'm coming in with evergreen ink from Altenew, and I'm just adding those little the little highlights to some of the letters in the R, so it says Cousins R. And then I'm using gold foil letter stickers from the sticker book to do some of these smaller words like the and best, I think. And then I used my evergreen ink to stamp out perfect. And that's where we're going to jump ahead here to that part. So I just used my that evergreen ink from Altenew to stamp out perfect, to pull in some of that darker green. And then I have my friends, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my T-square ruler, and I'm going to use it to... Hi, that's Fitz. Fitz would like to say hello, apparently. He never barks, but he's sitting on my lap, and I guess something caught his attention. How about that? So there's those gold foils. And yes, that's right. I'm now listening to Go West. My musical choices are incredibly eclectic. If you've been, I wish I had thought about the fact that my phone was in the frame, but if you were watching my phone, then you know that I listened to the Killers and the Bee Gees and Beauty and the Beast soundtrack and Go West. I do listen to other things too, but that just happened to be what was on the playlist as I was sitting there scrapbooking. Okay, so I glued the die cut to the bottom of my 12x12 scrapbook album, or scrapbook page. I just wanted that bottom piece that says take note, and I'm just going to use it to fill in, I felt like there was a little bit of a gappy spot at the bottom underneath my title. And so now I'm going to work on adding some larger pieces, things like my journaling, some puffy stickers, some of the larger die cuts that I chose out of the die cut collection. I'm going to play with placement. I had a little bit of problems because and this is going to sound so silly, but I had a lot of blue, and so I ended up with a lot of blue on this layout, and I had to try to work a little bit harder to get the more green color in and the aqua color. So I'm using a collection of stickers from the sticker book and puffy stickers to add just some butterflies. The kids are dressed up very nicely in this photo, so I felt like it was more of a formal photo and it could handle things like butterflies and hearts without it being out of place. And I'm also going to use those pretty green birds. I'm going to add a little bit of a gold tag under here. Stuff's going to get layered on top of this, but I wanted a little bit of gold pulled up because some of the letters the stickers that I used for the bottom were gold, so I wanted to make sure that those were in there. And this sticker book has oodles and oodles, you can see them here, of phrase stickers. So many phrase stickers. And so I really wanted to go ahead and use as many of these phrase stickers as I could. I will probably be using phrase stickers on lots and lots of pages. So this week, coming up, I have, I think, 3 videos. Oh, and I have to tell you about my Google Calendar. Okay, so if you have a Google Calendar and you want to keep up on when my videos are going to go live, if you go down below to the links below, you'll find one that goes to my blog. I uploaded and have a public Google Calendar that you can subscribe to, and I update it. I'm also doing a giveaway because I need some beta testers to help me to make sure it doesn't need any kinks worked out of it. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, if you could run over to my blog, subscribe to the Google Calendar, and then as I update it, I have a couple people that have tried it already and say it works fabulously. So as I update it, it updates on your Google Calendar, and you know exactly when I have videos going live, which I think is really, really a cool idea. Alright, that's going to complete this layout. Make sure to head over and check out Miss Pineapple Papers, Crystal Barrett, because she's fabulous. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Monday. Bye.